What is going on? Good God. And see what's going on. Ooh, hey, Facebook Live. Yes. How is everyone? It's a beautiful day. It is still dark outside, as I see, but who am I? I am RosaJ, doing it God's way each and every day, and I want to welcome you to A Course in Miracles. I am so excited. I just love the Course in Miracles, and it is an amazing tool to use for freedom. Freedom from all the chaos in the world, freedom from allowing your being to be. Yeah. Yes. Good morning. Where are you from? Hey, Marcus. Hey, Natasha. How are you? So we're on day 41. Time is passing by so quickly. 41 days. Actually, it's about 45 days into the new year. Isn't that amazing how time just flies? Thanks for joining. Hey, Tina. How are you? Hey, hot dog, what's going on? To be here. I love teaching and I love sharing what I'm learning with everyone. It is definitely a great morning. Why? Because you're one of those chosen people who have another day to do better, to get greater, to show who you are to the world. You have one more day to get it right? One more day of lessons to be achieved and hurdles to overcome and just to become that fabulous being, one with God. Isn't that amazing? And this is not a religious book per se. This is a spiritual journey. And sometimes when we talk about the spirit, we get frightened. Don't. Relax, enjoy it, and just know that understanding will come. So the thought for today is God goes with me everywhere I go. How many people know that? Do you know that God is always with you? There is no place that God is not. Not even in hell. God's there. In heaven, God's there. We're in jails, God's there. In hospitals, God is there. In schools, God is there. At your job, God is there. Wherever you are, on the subway, on the bus, behind your car, God is always with us, no matter where we are. Isn't that great? Because God is spirit, and spirit can be everywhere at the same time. With your children, your loved ones, with yourself. And all he asks is that you acknowledge him. Yeah. So I acknowledge him. Hey, Sharon, how are you? I acknowledge him. I acknowledge the God in you. That's why I say words like namaste. I honor and love and say hello to that God in you. You know, God is, people say I'm a hotep, which is an African term. This says the same thing. So always remember, God goes with you wherever you are. So let's talk about the lesson today. Today's idea will eventually overcome completely the sense of loneliness and abandonment, all the separate ones experiences. You know how you think you're a part of, separate from everything else. How many of us have ever said, I feel so lonely. I have no one. No one. That's not the truth. God is always with you. You have the most infinite, powerful being with you at all times. Better than a loved one, better than children, better than friends and family. God is always there. God is always there. You know, when we go through that depression, that we think that we're separate from everything and everybody. So our anxieties and worry and deep sense of helplessness, misery, suffering, and intense fear of loss. We have those feelings as humans. That's just what we do. But we always have to remember God goes with me no matter where I am, everywhere I am. The separate ones have invented many cures for what they believe to be the ills of the world. Don't doctors do that? You go to him and he says, oh, you're depressed. Hey, take this pill. Let's do this, do that. But in truth, all you have to do is get in touch with that spirit within yourself. God is the healer, the protector, the lawyer, the doctors, the nurses. God is everyone. As my pastor says, sometimes God sends those doctors to you to help you, but you have to use your own spirit of discernment. But the one thing they don't do is to question the reality of the problem. They never ever do that. They always want to give you a medical reason, right? And sometimes it's just a spiritual reason. But the one thing that they don't do is to question the reality of the problem. Yet its effects cannot be cured because the problem's not real. Remember when we started, we were talking about God, that everything we see is an imagination. Everything we see these images of certain things, but they're not real. We make them real. We make them real by the things that we say, the things that we think, the things that we talk about. We make them real. Thoughts in mind produce in kind. I love that saying. Things that we focus on will show up. So, because we think about them, and I'm reading, because we think about them, let me see what Brian is saying, because he wrote something. Hi, Brian, how are you? If God is with me at all times, why do I feel far from him? I want to feel close and close to him. It's because frustration is frustrating me. Okay, let go of that frustration and say, God is real. Show me God. Show me God. God is with me wherever I go. Focus on that. Don't question yourself. Stop questioning yourself. And God will show you. I'm going to tell you a story about while we're Oh, I'm sorry that you struggle, but the struggle is not real. God has never left you. God has never left you. You can sit down quietly and meditate on that one thought. God is everywhere I am. God is everywhere I am. Just use that thought. I know that feeling of separation. I remember years ago, and I guess doctors would have said that I was depressed. I felt the same way. And what I started doing is I started listening intently to the Bible with Brian Hart, and it's an app on your phone, the Daily Audio Bible. And then I started reading the daily thoughts. I started using this book called Utmost for His Highest. And I really didn't understand any of that. And then I used to listen to the sayings from Joel Osteen and, different things. And one day it seemed like it just clicked and everything was blending together. And my prayer was, Lord, if this is you talking to me, show me. Make it so that I cannot deny that you are talking to me, that I am hearing you and not my head, not somebody else. And what I found is during that course of the day, I would read things would pop up on signs, and I would hear conversations, and people would talk about the same lessons that were taught in those things that I had read that morning. You know, we want to feel separated. We want to feel exclusive. We want to feel important. And we are important. We are important to God and to ourselves. But first, we have to trust ourselves. We have to trust God. We have to have faith that He is showing us what He wants us to do, what He wants to see. You are already close to God. You just don't realize it. I was already close to God. I was already hearing God. I just didn't recognize His voice when I heard it. I just didn't hear Him. Or so I thought. Sometimes our intellect wants to get in the way, and sometimes we have to open our heart to hear Him. Yeah. We have to seek Him. And it doesn't mean go chasing after Him. Just open up His heart, because He's right there in front of you. He's right there inside of you. He blew, you are made in His image and likeness. That's just it, and that's all. But the chaos in the world, the news and the newspapers and people talking about the situations get in the way. And when they get in the way, you have to bring yourself back to the consciousness of God. Millions and thousands of thoughts go through your head, and sometimes they get in the way. They bring up feelings of angst and anxiety and worration and all of that. God heals all things. We imagine everything else because we think we have to. And it may sound crazy right now, and it did sound totally insane when I was moving out of the realm of man's images into God's images. You know, there came a time when I was battling with all the things that I did, with the parties that I did, with the drugs and alcohol, you know, and with the school and the kids and the wanting to find love and all of that craziness. And it was all right here. And all I had to do was sit back, relax, and declare it to be so. God is everywhere I go. God travels with me in every form. That's just what He does. He's out there. He's right there beside you. He's right there in your heart. We have to open ourselves to hear Him. Relax. And I used to say to myself, when crazy stuff comes into my head or worration wants to get a part of me, this is not true. This is what I imagine it to be. So let me visualize something better. Let me imagine something better, something that feels good. When was the last time you felt good? That was God. That's the feeling that you want to always resonate to, return to. So in the Course, it says, and foolishness is just that. Despite how tragic or how serious it may seem or take image of, God is always there. Deep within you is everything that is perfect. Everything that's perfect. Ready to radiate through you and out into the world. It will cure all sorrow, all pain, and fear and loss, because it is the healing of the mind. We have like two minds. We have a mind of God, and we have our own mind. And our own mind is totally surrounded by chaos. I mean, and it doesn't have to be bad chaos. It could be good chaos too. But it's too much stuff. And then when we get too much stuff, we get into overload. Then fear sets in, then worry sets in. That's why it's always good when that happens to bring it back to the mind of God. God is always good. God is always there. You can never excuse me. You can never deprive yourself of a perfect holiness, because that's who you are. You were created by this source, and the source is perfect. And because the source is always with you, you are always in the source's realm. But then we get misguided, and we start worrying about things that don't seem perfect. Stop it. When the world starts doing that to you, when your mind starts taking you places that you don't want to go, you don't have to go there. You can breathe again, and relax and say, God is everywhere I go. And breathe, relax, and know that He got you. And nothing can destroy that. Nothing can destroy that unless you allow it to happen. See, I'm in this realm that I refuse to allow chaos to just override my world. And if it does, I want to come back to that perfect peace and just say, okay, let's see what's going to happen. Don't worry. God's got me. God's got my back. I have to open myself to the realization that that is the truth. All capital letters. That is the truth. No matter what goes on, no matter who dies today, no matter what job you lose, I have to know that God has me. That doesn't mean I have to sit back and take anything. I just have to ask God for the next perfect move. And it may just take a job interview. It may just take talking to a friend of yours. Not complaining, mind you. Not talking about what the world is, how bad the world is, but just relaxing and telling someone the truth about how you feel. God is everywhere I go. We understand that you don't believe this. How could you? When the truth is hidden deep within. God, tells me a story about God asking his crew, where should I put this knowledge? And after a lot of examples, put it in the sky, put it under the sea, put it under on the top of a mountain. God said, oh no, God didn't say this. One of his members said, put it inside man. For then he has to go within to find it. Go within, relax, breathe. Ask God, show me what I need to do to get to you. And it doesn't matter. It's really not about giving money or sharing goods. You have to go within and find that God in your heart. So let's breathe. So when you go within, it's under a heavy cloud of insane thoughts, dense and obscuring, yet representing all you see. See, we have to stop depending on those five senses because they lie to you. They hide the truth. Today, we will make our first real attempt to get past this dark and heavy cloud and go through it to the light beyond. That's what this lesson is all about. Going through the darkness and into the light. There will be only one long practice period today. And they suggest that you do it in the morning. The morning you get up, if you're like me, you're dressed, ready to go out. Sometime during the course of the day, take 15 minutes, take 5 minutes, and just sit still and keep repeating. God is wherever I go. God is wherever I go. God travels with me. Think to yourself. Feel his presence. Before you go to bed, do it again. From time to time during the course of the day, say these words to yourself. Try to sink down and inward, away from the world and all the foolish thoughts of the world. You are trying to reach past these things. You are trying to leave the appearance and approach the reality, which is God is always with you. God is always with you. Even in your depression, God is there. Even in your illness, God is there. I know when I get sick, and there are times when I'm in the hospital, and even that is a lie. We're going to talk about illness soon. That's an escape. That's what I see it as. The body can heal itself. Another story, another lesson for another time. Today, we intend to get closer to that reality that God is always with us. And we can call upon him at any given time. And sometimes that thought or that call upon might be just, show me, God. Show me you, God. It may be, is this real, God? It may be, thank you, God. It may be just that quiet request. God is always with me. He's always there. And if I could pour it into your heart, I would. It is quite possible to reach God. In fact, it's very easy because it is the most natural thing in the world. We want to think that it's difficult, but it's not. It's the most ordinary thing that happens in the world. It is the most natural thing that's in the world. Someone told me a story yesterday, a little thing about, I was in class, Unity, and an infant comes into this world in close contact with God. The language that he speaks, the words that he says. You ever notice how babies look into the sky a lot? They see God, they hear God. And as they're learning how to manipulate through this world, we become unconscious of his presence. We get more in tune to the world. But the reality is that we are always in connection. It is totally impossible not to be connected to your source. It just is. You might even say that it's the only natural thing in the world. The way will open if you believe that it is possible. Belief. This exercise can bring very startling results even the first time it is attempted. And sooner or later, it will always be successful. So just keep practicing. It will never fail completely. The instant success is possible. Instant success is possible. You must believe that it's possible. You must know that you know that you know it's possible. Throughout the day, use today's lesson as often as you want. Repeat it very slowly, preferably with your eyes closed. Think of what you are saying, what the words mean. Concentrate on that holiness and that they imply about you. It is unfailing. You have an unfailing companionship with the source. You just do. Oh, you can afford to laugh at those fear thoughts. Remember, God goes with you wherever you go. God goes with you wherever you go. Practice it. Leave a comment. Let me know how it's working out for you. I need some insight. Is it working for you? Are you saying these things to yourself and not trying to explain them to yourself? Just say them to yourself. God goes with me wherever I go. God goes with me wherever I go. God goes with me wherever I go. That's the reality. That's the truth. Ashe. And so it is. I am Rosa J, doing it God's way each and every day. And just a little heads up. Okay, so today is the day before I go to my homecoming, University of Maryland Eastern Shore. I have not been there in 10 years, about 10 years. So I will be gone from the air. Live feeds, I don't think I'll be doing live feeds. But you never know. You might see me at 6:30. I might just join in, go into a quiet space. I'm rooming with some people, so I can't disturb them at 6:30. Most people are asleep, but I'm going to try my best. But if I don't get on, go to the I Am Affirmations page, and I will be posting the lessons so that we can stay on target. So just like and get notification for the I Am Affirmation page on YouTube. On Facebook. I will be posting the lessons, and then you can read them and do them yourself so we can stay on target, right? Have a God day. Like this, share this out. Someone is in need or desires to know more. That's when this came into my presence when I said, God, I need more. I desire more, God. And he showed up in many ways, but this one, A Course in Miracles, has been truly a side-by-side process with understanding the Bible. This is the more God gave me. So have a great day. Know that I love you. God loves you. And there is nothing you can ever do to change that. Remember, God goes with me wherever I go. Namaste. People ask. And Brian, contact me. We can have a conversation. Friend me. If we're not friends already, you're going to be all right. You at the very beginning, God loves you and needs you. And everyone else, have a great Friday. I'm just not Friday. Have a great day. I get excited. So life is good and all is well. God goes with me wherever